absorb information as close as you can get to like Limitless or like the Matrix, right? And I think it's the most important skill, so I'm excited about this.
So remember that scene from The Matrix where Neo plugs himself in and this giant thing goes and attaches itself to his brain and he downloads new skills? Well, we're not going to be doing that, but this is about as close as you can get.
Yeah, and so you will learn how to learn, and basically you can know Kung Fu. And Kung Fu really is just this level of mastery in this journey, and that's what we're on this quest together. And that's the best thing about this, is that you're not alone. If you're struggling or suffering with too much to learn, too little time, I mean, who doesn't have books on the shelf they haven't read yet, right? You go online, you buy all these books, and they sit on your shelf, and as Lisa Nichols talks about, it becomes shelf-help and not self-help. How many people get more than 10 emails a day? How many people are getting hundreds of emails? We're drowning in information. But we're starving for real practical wisdom. And so information overload and distraction and this digital economy that we're in, I mean, it's rewiring our brains, and it's really taking away from our productivity and our peace of mind. And that's why I think these conversations are so important.
So I want to share a quick story of how Jim Kwik's work helped me and why I'm so excited to have Jim in this masterclass. So we started planning this about 3 months ago. And 1 month ago, I was in Munich in Germany doing a seminar. And so after day 1 of the seminar, we had 300 people in the room, and people came with their books, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, for me to sign. And as I wrote down the name in their book, I used Jim's technique to attach their name to the face. Now, the very next day in the seminar, when people would raise their hand to ask questions, I could call them out by name, because I used Jim's technique to remember, out of 300 people, 100 names. And instantly, everyone in the room was impressed, and they were mystified. And my ratings for the seminar went higher than I normally get, because everybody felt recognized. Yeah. Everybody felt important, because I, as the speaker, had remembered their name. Yeah. And guys, it took me 10 minutes to learn that technique, and that technique completely changed my life. Now, what we're going to do at the end of this seminar, that technique is one of the powerful techniques that Jim is going to be teaching in his new course with Mindvalley called Superbrain. That technique itself, like, basically pays for the entire course. But we're actually going to give you a gift, and at the end of this masterclass, we're going to teach you that technique in 10 minutes. How about that? So stay till the end, because we're going to give you that name recognition technique, and this is so going to change the way you interact in terms of business, networking, and you interact with people in your life.
Yeah, and I really want to thank everybody who's really showing up for this. I believe success comes down to 2 things. Showing up, 50% of it is just showing up, but the other half is playing full out. So make sure you take notes, that you really focus and be present here, because what you're about to learn will absolutely change your life. I want this to be the most valuable next few minutes of your time.
So first, Jim, I want you to tell the story behind this picture, because as a geek, this story always gives me shivers.
Okay, so a few years ago, I get a call, and this, going back to remembering names, is so important. I speak a lot, and I got to meet somebody and saying hi to everybody afterwards, and I remember this person's name. And remembering names, again, I don't want to underscore this. It is the #1 business etiquette networking skill there is, because how are you going to show somebody you're going to care for their future, their family, their health, their finances, anything that you're selling them, if you don't care enough just to remember their name, right? And so I remember this person's name, and that led to me speaking at 20th Century Fox for this chairman of 20th Century Fox and his executive team. And so I did my very best talk, and I don't know what it was, because I was in this playful state. It was a Friday, and walking into the boardroom, you saw like pictures of like Avatar and Star Wars, and put me in that state, right? And what happened was, it was my very best presentation, and afterwards the chairman looks at me and says, Jim, I want to give you a tour of the 20th Century lot, and it's a closed lot in